Hi, my name is Marcus, and welcome to my channel. Do you know how long it's been since Avatar: The Last Airbender, the final episode, the final battle against Aang versus the Fire Lord, premiered on Nickelodeon? 2008. It's 18 years ago. It is 2026. Now, finally, aside from The Legend of Korra, aside from the god-awful The Last Airbender, even aside from all the comics and all of the, the Netflix show, but finally, seems like we're getting a true continuation of Aang, Zuko, Katara, Toph, and Sokka's story in the Paramount Plus exclusive movie, The Legend of Aang. Very excited for this, even though I'm kind of side-eyeing it a little bit, because some of these Avatar projects are hit and miss when it comes to the writing and the overall quality and just the qualifications of the script and just the overall product. So, but I feel like this one specifically, it's being kind of cohorted by the original creators. So my hopes for this are relatively high. I'm not gonna lie. Looks like the product itself is being directed by Lauren Montgomery. She's produced products like Superman Doomsday, a few of the DC animated movies like Green Lantern, Batman and Superman Public Enemy, so on and so forth. It is being produced by Michael Demento and by Marco Dante Marcazinto, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce their names. Those are the original creators of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and they do have a major part in this as well. It's supposed to take place at least like in their young adult years, so I'm thinking like early 20s. I think Katara is supposed to be 24 in this series, so that would make Sokka about 26 or 27. It would make Zuko about 25. That would make Aang about 23, 22, I believe. So it is right up the alley. So for them, it is the next chronological story within the series, aside from the comic books or those short story books that they released kind of like right after the Last Airbender ended. So, like I said, I'm excited for it, man, to kind of see the continuation of the story in their young adult years. So they're not full-blown adults yet, taking care of kids or with careers and whatnot. It's almost like they're should still have their youthful personalities going into this story as well, hopefully, to kind of bring back that charm, I guess. It was kind of my issue with The Legend of Korra. Obviously, it was centered on Korra's story, but followed the original Avatar characters like Katara, Toph, Zuko. Sokka was already passed, Aang had passed, but they were so damn serious, it's almost like they lost their charm, kind of, from the original show, which, I mean, makes sense. They're in their 40s, 50s, and their elder years by the time Korra comes along, but, it just kind of lost its charm from the original series. So it's good to see this series, I feel like, kind of come back to that. Even in your early adult years or whatnot, that 22 to 25 range, you still kind of have your kid personality or whatnot. Even though I'm like almost 40, and I still feel like I sometimes have my 18, 19-year-old brain from time to time. I'm sure y'all noticed on the first screenshot, the dude on the top left-hand corner of Team Avatar. Clearly, that's not a regular part of Team Avatar. We've never seen that character before, but clearly he has the blue tattoos representative of the mastered airbenders. From what we've figured out so far, he is apparently going to be the antagonist in the movie. I don't know if I mentioned this yet, but apparently it's going to be just a one-off hour-and-a-half movie that's coming out in October. It's not a series, it's not a show, it's just a movie, which is fine, whatever. Hopefully maybe this will be a catalyst that the movie is successful on Paramount Plus. So it is going to, continue into maybe some kind of a series or whatnot. That would be cool. I thought we were going to get, a sequel to The Legend of Korra, but we haven't heard anything about it in like a year or so. But I don't know, I feel like that's been put into development hell now. So it looks like this seems to be the focus now, which that's my preference. Obviously Avatar Aang is the character, and Team Avatar with him is the Avatar team that we all originally fell in love with. So if we can continue to get continuations of his story and Katara, and see their eventual when they have their kids, and see Zuko, fulfill his role as Fire Lord, maybe see Toph, start her metal bending school, see Sokka do whatever he's getting ready to do. I would like to see those stories animated, man. I mean, I'm just saying. So the only thing that kind of makes me nervous about this one-off movie specifically, him being an airbender, is it just going to be a rehash or repeat of Zahir, the bad guy that turned into the airbender from the Legend of Korra? Is it going to be something of that nature? I feel like, we've already seen that, I guess. But I guess in a way, at this point, we've already had bad guys from each, nation. I mean, we've had Fire Lord Ozai from the Fire Nation. We've had Zahir from the Air Nomads. We've had, I can't remember the bad Avatar from the Water Tribe. I think it was Korra's uncle or whoever. Then we had old girl from the Earthbender that took over. I can't think of her name, but she metal bends. Y'all know who I'm talking about, especially if you know Avatar. So that's what makes me just a little bit nervous about it. I'm really hoping that this one succeeds. I've always had a strong passion for Avatar: The Last Airbender, so it's definitely had some stinkers within its franchise within the last 10 years. That's why we just haven't had anything solidified within the series since the Legend of Korra. Because honestly, the Legend of Korra was okay, but I feel like the only reason that it was able to conclude its story was because it was still trailing off the backtails of Avatar: The Last Airbender, if I'm being completely honest. At the end of the day, it's kind of a weird one, man. I kind of want Aang to still be that happy-go-lucky kid, except that he's just got a seriousness to him now. He's accepted his role as the Avatar. He is the active, Avatar, trying to fix everybody's problems. I still want Katara to have that motherly figure, trying to take on everybody's problems while still dealing with her own inner turmoil of dealing with her mother's death and so on and so forth. I still want Sokka to have that go-lucky, goofy kid personality, just transferred into that more teenage, early adulthood. Still want Toph to have that gruff, strongest earthbender ever mentality, even though she has her own self-deprecation that she's trying to accept that she's blind. And just, even though she's blind, she is still a very capable, metal and earthbender that can take care of herself. Then I still want Zuko to be that emo kid that still clearly is dealing with his own issues with his father and his sister, and his mom, but fulfilling his role as the Fire Lord. So, and then eventually they all are able to come together again and combat this common threat of this new earthbender that, I don't know, was probably going to try to assassinate Fire Lord Zuko. Probably going to try to kill Aang, so on and so forth. So I'm excited to see it, man. I really am. Definitely one of those franchises where I'm like, bro, that it wasn't broken, so don't change shit. You know what I'm saying? Just keep everybody's personalities, kind of mature them up just a smidge, but don't change it too much. We need this one specifically, you really need to keep the charm of what made Avatar: The Last Airbender so special. Don't go in trying to everybody's all gruff and serious now. Everybody's so serious. Nah, man, they still need to be goofy. They still need to be, because even at that 23-24 age range, you're kind of serious, but you still, are kind of goofy a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We've all been, I'm 38. Well, it's been quite a while since I was 23, 24. But I can tell you that 23-year-old Marcus was still pretty damn goofy. That's all I'm saying. It still needs to feel like a kid's show. It's almost like they need to mature them up to a point to where we still remember it from when we were kids, but we can still relate to it in this particular stage in their lives. So hopefully they're able to do that. I guess we'll see, man. It comes out in October. Kind of sad that it's not coming out in theater. I feel like I would have preferred it come out in theater, but I guess it just didn't have the confidence or the money behind it, which I don't really blame them from a business perspective, especially after the failure of The Last Airbender, how that bombed. And then it's the Netflix show did okay. We're finally getting ready to get season 2 of that, but I feel like it probably didn't make enough money as it should have, to start garnering to try to put this franchise back in theaters again. So just having it as a one-off for Paramount Plus, even though I feel like I just freaking canceled my Paramount Plus membership, so now I'm gonna have to reacquire it. Fuck. More money, more money, more money. Like, it's fine. It's fine, bro. But what are you going to do? So with that, I think we'll end it here, man. So what I want to know now, how do y'all feel about it? Are y'all excited to see The Legend of Aang, or have you moved on from this franchise, or do you just not care anymore? Or are you excited to see this version of these characters continue on from Avatar: The Last Airbender? Or would you have rather have seen a continuation for a new Avatar that takes place after The Legend of Korra? So let me know in the comment section below, man. I'm very curious about this. And, depending on what this dude's own views, it's kind of a new determination factor if I'm going to start covering Avatar information on this channel as well. I've covered a few action figures here and there over the years, but I've never really covered the movies or the show itself. So this is definitely a test video. Now, if y'all are interested in this type of content from me, then, showcase it that you want to see it from the view count, man. So if not, then, we'll go back to what we always do, man. Mario, Dragon Ball, Disney, so on and so forth. So, okay. That's going to do it for this one, man. So if you enjoyed my take on this information, hit that like button. I really appreciate that. If you want to see more content just like this, hit that subscribe button. You can follow me at youtube.com/marjack79. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. As always, my friends, thank you guys for the years of support, and I will see you on the next one. I'll catch y'all later. Bye.